man, I'm going to talk about why being lean is obviously rare, but why it's going to continue to get rarer and why body game is rare and it will continue to get more rare. All right, so here's the thing. I cannot believe the amount of excuses I see under posts when I say simple shit like eat more whole foods, move more. The amount of excuses people are making are just rising and rising and rising. A lot of shit is getting easier as far as like, getting unhealthy food. It's always been easy, but people are door dashing a lot more than they used to. People are skipping the gym more than they used to. People are doing unproductive shit like gooning all the time. When you're gooning all the time, you have low energy, right? People aren't getting the nutrients they need from food, so they have even less energy. So just imagine gooning all the time, not getting any vitamins and minerals, not getting quality sleep, and spending all your time on the computer. All those things will tank your testosterone, yes, but you'll be gaining fat like crazy, increasing your estrogen, making you more emotional. And then you're going to get into that habit, and it's just going to keep happening over and over and over again. Like, these issues are deeper rooted than a lot of people think. Like, this fucking gooning shit is like, it's very serious. There's a lot of people are doing the gooning shit. Most people don't go to the gym. People who go to the gym, they're inconsistent. People who are consistent in the gym, they don't eat what they need to, and it really just comes down to that nutrition. I talk about nutrition so much because at the end of the day, I consider people who take nutrition seriously and actually get to their goals, with nutrition. That's just fucking rare. That's it's so rare. Like, actually eating what you need to, right? Actually eating what you need to. There's only so many foods on earth. All right. A lot of people are like, nah, man, I just gotta have my fried food, man. Like, I need a reward at the end of the day. That's just a bitch mentality, bro. And you can never, like, I can never be around someone with that weak ass mentality, bro. That's the dumbest mentality of all time. You're not gonna get anywhere like that. You're not gonna get anywhere in life when you're doing things based off emotions like that. Like, it feels so good to eat this food. I love it. It's just feminine behavior, bro. Like, when you have a goal in mind, when you have somewhere you want to get to, you're not going to let anything stop you from reaching that goal. All right. So if that means you're going to grill your chicken, you know what I'm saying, instead of fry that shit, if that means you're going to eat, 93.7 ground beef instead of 70/30 or whatever fuck y'all be eating and shit, 73/27. If that's what it means, then that's what it means, right? If that means you hit the gym 4 times a week instead of 0 times a week, you do what you got to do. But a lot of people find all these excuses. They spend all their time finding excuses like, man, like, I ain't got time to hit the gym. Not gonna lie, bro. I never really say anything about like, oh, I'm so busy, this is that, because it's not a fucking excuse, because the world only cares about results. Everything's waiting at the finish line. Chicks, everything that you want, it's all waiting at the finish line. So I just get shit done, right? I just get shit done. But I never complained when I was working 60 hours as a nurse, doing 20 hours of social media. Well, not really 20 hours, literally 24/7 social media shit, dealing with all this other shit, dealing with a breakup. I never really complained because at the end of the day, what is complaining going to do? I got to get to the other side. Yet people who have like 40, 50-hour schedules and they're not spending any of it meal prepping, they're not spending any of it working out. What are you actually doing all day? Right? A lot of you guys are like, nah, bro, like, it's so hard. Like, I got this work schedule. Nah, I work 80 hours a week. No. And you're like, you're trying to justify, right? And you're trying to, whoever has the worst situation, gets a reward. Like, that's your mindset. You're like, well, mine is worse because I have to do this. Listen, at the end of the day, you're responsible for taking care of yourself. Nobody else, not your boss. Nobody else. All right, your boss doesn't give a fuck if you die because forgot to eat, or you've been eating so bad that now you have a heart attack because you got stressed. What is your boss gonna do? He's probably not even gonna go to the funeral. He's just gonna replace you. All right, simple. And the new worker will probably be cheaper because maybe you have experience. Like, it's not nobody fucking cares. It is what it is. If you want results, you do what you need to do to get results. People don't realize that. People will never realize that. And that is one of the reasons people just don't get lean. They just will never get over that nutrition hump. Go to the gym sometimes when they feel like it. All right. The nutrition shit usually don't execute. People don't pay attention to what they eat, and they don't realize how they're getting fat is because of what they're consuming. It still blows my mind that people will be like, nah, bro, like, you don't understand. Like, I'm eating really good. No, you're not, nigga. You wouldn't be fat. I see your stomach. You see your stomach. Why are you lying to both of us about eating good? You wouldn't look like Jabba the fucking Hutt if you were eating lean. It's not that deep. Simple. And then, obviously, like, there's people don't do structured programs. Let's just keep it a buck. People aren't doing structured programs where they're lifting correctly and they're prioritizing weightlifting. Sometimes they'll do cardio, fads and shit like that, and then they'll stop. Simple shit. Another thing is just discomfort and pain in general. Like, not gonna lie, guys, not like never being uncomfortable and never being in any kind of pain is pretty much a guaranteed for not being successful and not progressing. specifically. Like, you're never going to progress if you do have no discomfort. If you're like, no, I need comfort. So many people chase, like, they prioritize comfort, right? So they'll tell you shit like, nah, man, like, I just, eating healthy is too expensive, or nah, man, I just don't have time to meal prep, or nah, man, like, I don't know if I just can't do it. When in reality, they just want comfort. All right. After they get off work, they like to go to McDonald's or Taco Bell, get a big ass meal, probably 3,000 calories, and then, after that, what they're watching, they like to eat some Ben and Jerry's or some cookies or some shit, because that makes them feel good on the inside, and it's making them fat as shit. That's what a lot of people prioritize. That's what they prioritize, that comfort. All right. Like I told y'all, I've had clients just be like, yeah, man, I'm definitely losing fat in this program. It's working, man, but I just wanna go out drinking on weekends. And it's like, listen, when you get to the point of actually being lean, you go through the process of being lean, make the sacrifices now. It's gonna be harder for you to go from lean to fat. All right, you can stay lean, drinking every once in a while, eating fucking 10,000 calories for a couple of days, like every once in a while. You could do that shit once you get lean, but you got to get lean first. You got to make that temporary sacrifice, and people aren't willing to do it. They're like, nah, I like my comfort now. I like drinking on the weekends. I like eating pizza on the weekends. This is that, all that shit, man. And that's what a lot of people do. And a lot of people also don't understand the concept of, like, why you calorie track, right? Because it's not exactly something you do permanently. I know people who don't track their calories and they're lean, but you need to have awareness about what you're consuming, because we just happen to be gluttonous. But also, the types of foods you pick are gonna kind of dictate how much you eat as well. If you're eating a lot of empty calories, like chips with no fiber, no nutrients, you're still gonna be hungry. Your body's still gonna crave food. Versus when you eat steak and sweet potatoes and broccoli, you get all those nutrients, all that protein, that fiber. Your body's not gonna crave as much. So when you start comparing different nutrition labels, you start to become more aware of, like, okay, this fills me up more, but it's way less calories. This fills me up less, but it's way more calories. You'll start to notice things like that. You'll be smarter with your food. A lot of people say, like, they can eat intuitively. You can't eat intuitively until you know how much calories is in fucking everything. Now, after you're consistent in eating and you learn about shit, then yeah, you can eat more intuitively, right? But most people just don't. Most people aren't aware of exactly what they're consuming. And as time is going on, obesity rates are going up. But the medical system is changing to the point where it's giving excuses like, yeah, man, it's just genetic, man. The reason you're fat is because genetics. So now people are starting to get fed, that their victim mentality is valid. So now people think their victim mentality is valid. It's like, yeah, man, I'm a victim, man. Like, I got fat on accident. No one gets fat on accident. You chewed longer, right, than I have, right? You've chewed longer than everyone who's leaner than you. You've been more locked in on gaining fat than everybody that I know. That's just what you've been doing. You've been locked in on that shit, consistent, day in and day out, overeating. That's how you get fat. There's no other way, no other way around it. But now the media is really feeding into this. Oh my God, like, you might have genetic conditions, just take Ozempic. Obviously, it makes pharmaceuticals more money. So, they're always pushing for those studies that show, like, oh my God, like, you need Ozempic. So people will be like, I need Ozempic. When in reality, all it's going to do is suppress your appetite, and there's side effects to it, obviously. And then you become dependent on it, and you probably lose a lot of muscle as well. Very simple shit, right? Another thing is this psyop that a lot of people have been getting fed, like body positivity and shit like that. Like, anytime you are not prioritizing your health, putting positivity in the same sentence is crazy. Because, like, all these obese people who have all these health issues related to obesity, right? They are saying body positivity and shit like that. And it's obviously doing negative to their health. But then it's influencing everybody else, including their kids. For the guys, like, a lot of you guys really believe this dad bod shit. Like, oh my God, it's okay to have a dad bod. Yeah, bro, it's okay to be 12% body fat with a high amount of muscle mass and then eat, a bunch of food and have a temporary gut. That's okay. But actually being 25% body fat is diabolical, and chicks won't fuck with it. They just won't. Now, there are exceptions, like people who lead with their money, right? Or just have a lot of clout or some shit like that. That's literally not majority of people. That may be less than 1% of people, probably. All right. But yeah, no one's fucking with the dad bod shit. You're not getting genuine desire with the dad bod. Unless, like, for example, if I eat 10,000 calories in one day, and at the end of the day, I got like a gut because I ate all that, that would be considered, a little bit worse than a dad bod to a chick. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of you guys have really felt for this shit. Like, yo, it's okay to have a dad bod. And I'm just like, bro, you guys, I don't know where you guys been, or if you guys are really touching grass, or just watching shit on social media, or using that as a fucking excuse. All right. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. The last reason But the most important one, and I kind of touched on this already, but it's going to be self accountability, guys. Like, if you make any excuse, let's use the Jim Rohn example, what he says about the list. If I ask you to write a list of why you're out of shape, and there's anything on that list besides your name, then you're already cooked mentally. All right, because in reality, that is the first realization that you need to come to. Like, I've had, the difference between a successful client and an unsuccessful client, from what I've seen, is the unsuccessful client is always looking for something else except changing themselves and controlling what they can. They're like, damn, bro, it's gotta be like a mix of creatine and fat burner mixed with like a 24-hour fast, a couple of times a week. But they're not willing to change how they view nutrition, right? Looking at food as fuel, and they're not willing to be consistent, right? Because that's what's going to take you furthest, consistency, all right? Because, like I said, you can eat. If you're to eat intuitively, you eat a bunch of whole food, you eat high protein for a long period of time, you'll lose fat and you'll gain muscle over time, right? And you just want to surround yourself with those foods. That's what the calorie counting is for, all right? Another thing with self-accountability is pushing yourself in the gym. Are you actually increasing weights? Are you actually progressively overloading? Are you actually going as hard as you can, all right, to build the maximum amount of muscle? Are you skipping sessions? Are you cutting sessions in half? Are you making excuses why you can't go to the gym, right? Like, I've had people skip home workout sessions, and of course, what I message them. If someone has home workouts and they miss the home workout, I'm like, oh my God, are you homeless? Is everything okay? Like, because how the fuck do you miss a home workout, bro? It just means you don't want that shit bad enough. Genuine desire for this fitness shit is also the reason, like, you're gonna get in shape. Like, a lot of people just do not give a fuck about their health, and the journey will always reveal that, because the journey is literally, the journey is a lifelong thing. You can't just pause the journey and then start again, right? You can't just pause the journey and be like, you know what, I'll start later, and then you never start, because you're probably not going to, because it's something that you do. It's part of your identity, and it is a priority, which means you don't start and stop it. Like, nah, bro, like, I think I'm gonna stop for a little bit and just, I've seen people, I've trained people in person like that too. Like, you train people in person, they're like, yeah, I think I'll stop for a little bit. I'll just do it on my own. I was like, you didn't learn anything yet. It's been 1 month, bro. You're not doing shit on you. You're going back to being fat. Guess what? You see in a couple weeks later, that motherfucker ballooned up, bro. The motherfucker's fat as shit. It's because they're not willing to change their identity, because in order for you to do different, you have to be different. All right, niggas don't want to actually be different. They want the results of those who are different, but they don't want to be different. All right, and that's why they ain't getting the fucking results. All right, lock in, fellas.